are you afraid of? You're scaring me, honey. I don't see anything.
Our first case comes from a mother named Aaliyah who thought she was simply documenting her daughter's sleep problems to show a pediatrician, but what her camera captured that night revealed something far more disturbing than a common childhood face. She tried to comfort her. It turned out that Aaliyah's daughter had been suffering from night terrors for a few weeks, but according to the child's doctor, it was a common phase that many children experience until one day she herself suffered his terror and caught this in camera. It was around 2:40 in the night. Aaliyah woke up to her daughter's cries, but this time, they were more intense than ever. It was so severe that the girl ran straight into her mother's room. Aaliyah immediately started recording to show the footage to her child's doctor. But what she captured was far from normal.
I'm scared.
Scared? Are we scared, baby? Come on, here, pickle. Come here, pickle. Come on, pickle. It's okay. There's the vent right there, baby. See? The vent pushes the door. You're fine, okay? Are you a big girl? You're scared, just remember. Baby Lenny's here, Mommy's here. We're all gonna be together in the same house. It's gonna be okay. Let's go to bed. What's wrong, Cora?
As Aaliyah guided her daughter back to her room, the door suddenly closed on its own. Trying to calm her daughter, Aaliyah told her it was just the vents. But what happened next couldn't be explained.
What's wrong, Cora? What are you afraid of? You're scaring me, honey. I don't see anything.
When Aaliyah sees her daughter staring at the window, she turns the camera towards her, but suddenly the blinds close on their own, making both the mother and the daughter run towards their room. But what she shows and explains makes it more terrifying.
You have to be physically standing by the blinds in order to close them like this. And also, all four of them closed at the exact same time. There's not electronic, it's not battery powered, That's not creepy. Trying my best not to freak out.
The blinds couldn't be closed all at once. They had to be shut manually, one or two at a time. While she was explaining this, the door opened again, but she tried not to panic. She then went on to explain how the air conditioning system worked.
So the AC was not on when the door closed. It's very loud. And you can hear it coming from the vent. The air vent could not have pushed this door closed in that other video because the air was not on, the AC.
It turned out that the AC couldn't close the door at all. That night, all Aaliyah wanted was to comfort her daughter. What her daughter said can be true, but we cannot unsee the door slamming and blinds folding automatically, There must be something or coincidence, and let us know from where you all are watching the video. Comment down. On the 8th of November, 2010, late at night, a Malaysian couple was driving around, seemingly searching for something. They eventually parked their vehicle in front of what appeared to be an office building, but soon they would experience something that would change their lives forever. They looked around the building as if trying to find something specific, but after sitting down and having a conversation, it looked like an argument broke out. The girl decided to leave, a decision she should have taken. The boy then leaves the room, leaving the girl behind, but this was not the time for both of them to be apart, and what happens after this will haunt them forever. While talking on the phone, the boy noticed the door suddenly move. At first, he thought it was just the wind, but the moment left him uneasy. Then, without warning, all the computers in the room turned on at the same time. Gathering all his courage, the boy decided to check. He was terrified, but he checked around to make sure no one else was there. He switched off the main power, shutting everything down, but moments later, the screens began glowing again. Panicked, he ran as fast as he could. But even after he left, it looked like something was still there. But a chair suddenly moved on its own, as if an unseen presence remained in the room. Then the door slammed shut, as though something was leaving. As the boy fled in fear, the girl was still inside, alone in that same room. While looking at her phone, she had no idea what was about to happen. The chair behind her suddenly moved, making her aware of something as she checked and turned back. Suddenly the chair in front of her moved on its own, launching her backwards. She began to panic, but that was not all. As she tried to run, the tables and chairs blocked her path, moving as if it knew exactly what she was about to do. She stumbled back, trying to comprehend what was happening, but she slipped and fell unconscious. Moments later, a chair flew across the room from one corner to the other as if someone threw it in rage. The boy never came back. Do you think this was all just a coincidence or something that can't be explained? Let us know in the comments. A father was woken up in the middle of the night by a strange sound echoing through the house. At first, he thought it might be nothing, but still uneasy, he quietly got out of bed and began checking each room, one by one. Everything seemed normal until he reached his son's bedroom. His child was wide awake, sitting up on the floor, quietly playing with something, or rather someone. The boy was softly talking, responding as if another presence was right there with him. But the room was empty. No one else was supposed to be there. And as soon as the father called out the son, something terrifying happened. Without warning, the toy the child was talking to dropped back down on its own, like it had been released by something unseen. That's when the father realized his son hadn't been playing alone. So what do you think happened that night? Was it the doll itself that came to life? Was the child under some kind of supernatural influence? Let us know what you think in the comments below. In another video shared on Instagram, a construction worker arrived early in the morning at a house he had been working on. He expected a quiet day on the job. The place seemed empty, or so he thought. As he stepped inside, he heard a faint sound. He followed the noise to see what it was, not knowing he was about to discover something disturbing. Without any warning, a nearby door slowly opened on its own, as if someone had just walked through it. The worker became alarmed and immediately started recording on his phone. He then cautiously stepped into the room to check what was happening. That's when everything changed. The attic door suddenly slammed shut with tremendous force, as though someone had violently pulled it closed from the other side. The worker was startled by the loud bang, but his curiosity pushed him forward. He decided he needed to check the attic himself to find out what was going on. When he opened the attic door and looked inside, the space appeared to be completely empty. He called out to see if anyone was there, but no one responded. Then the lights in the attic started flickering and acting strangely. Fear took over and he panicked. He turned and ran away as fast as he could, accidentally dropping his phone on the ground in his rush to escape. But what happened next is something his phone captured that cannot be easily explained. As the man was running away and his phone lay on the ground still recording, something began to approach it. The camera captured some kind of movement getting closer and closer to where the phone had fallen. Then, without warning, the phone suddenly spun around with great force, as if something had come down from the attic and deliberately pushed or kicked it. What do you think caused all of this? Let us know in the comments. This footage was captured by a home security camera installed in a bedroom. A couple was sleeping soundly in their bed when the girl suddenly heard strange banging sounds coming from across the room. The sounds were getting louder and seemed to be slowly moving closer to where they were sleeping.
Baby, wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
And then, suddenly,
Up, baby, wake up! What the fuck? What the fuck, baby? Wake up, wake up, wake up. Something, open the door. Aren't you waking up? Baby, wake
the bedroom door suddenly opened on its own. No one was standing there. The door just swung open automatically. The woman woke up completely and was terrified by what she had just witnessed.
Wake up! Wake up! Oh my God, baby. Wake up! Wake up!
Frightened and confused, the woman immediately tried to wake her partner up so he could see what was happening. She shook him and called out to him, but he did not respond at all. He remained completely still, as if he was in a deep sleep that he could not wake up from. This made the scene even more terrifying for her. Then things got worse.
What the fuck? Baby! Wake up! Why the fuck are you awake? Are you okay? What the fuck?
The items sitting on the table near the bed suddenly began to fall down on their own, one after another. Nothing had touched them. They just fell to the floor as if something invisible had pushed them off. The woman became even more frightened. She checked on her partner again, desperately trying to wake him up, but he still was not responding at all. Our next case is from a Reddit post shared by a user named ConquerLive30. A man who was working at a fire station can involve dangers beyond battling fires.
Jesus Christ. The fuck, everything's going all fucking haywire. We got alarms going off. Fucking Ryan's out on fucking patrol. Like there's a fucking poltergeist.
In the footage, many viewers believe they are witnessing what can only be described as paranormal activity. The video, seemingly recorded on a smartphone, opens in complete chaos. Machines are droning, alarms are beeping, and the person filming sounds confused and alarmed as everything around them begins malfunctioning at once.
Like there's a fucking poltergeist or some shit in here. Oh, fuck that! Oh, no, fuck this. Holy shit. No fucking way did that just fucking happen. Fucking, no fucking way. No fucking shit did that just fucking...
As the recording continues, a heavy wooden door suddenly slams shut on its own. This detail is especially unsettling as the door would not be connected to the station's electrical system, suggesting something far more unusual is at play. The person becomes increasingly frightened, openly speculating that a poltergeist may be present. January 11, 2012, late at night, an office building became the scene of something deeply unnatural, and every second of it was captured on a CCTV camera. Chairs around the room suddenly began moving from one end to the other. But that wasn't all. At first, a single computer screen started malfunctioning, but then all the screens in the room started malfunctioning at the same time, something that shouldn't be possible. But what the camera captured next was even more bizarre. Moments later, things took a far more disturbing turn. Doors throughout the office began trying to unlock themselves one after another, triggering alarms and flashing lights, as if something was desperately trying to get out or get in. Then, files lifted into the air and were flung violently across the room, crashing into walls and scattering everywhere at the same time. There was no one inside. No explanation. No logical cause. Doors slammed open as if someone had just stepped through, only to shut again moments later. What the camera recorded that night wasn't just strange, it was something that defied all reason. Late at night, a man was heading back to his room when something horrifying caught his attention inside his parked car. A sudden sense of fear took over, and he immediately started recording.
Qué mierda, eh. Lo peor de todo es que no queremos salir.
A person-like figure with a pale face was staring directly at him. And it couldn't have been a reflection. There was nothing around that could explain what he was seeing. Still recording, the man slowly approached the car, bracing himself for what he might find.
Nadie.
But when he finally checked the inside of the vehicle, it was completely empty, as if whatever had been watching him had vanished into thin air. Another video comes from a hospital. It was 8:30 in the morning when a young girl was sitting inside a hospital waiting area. She was convinced that she was completely alone in that part of the building. The halls around her were silent and empty. The only sound she could hear was the soft humming of the fluorescent lights above her. Nothing seemed out of place or unusual at first. To pass the time while she waited, she pulled out her phone and began recording herself. But what she captured on camera next was something that could not be explained. She was seated in her chair, facing toward a dark room across from her. When she looked at the footage later, it seemed like someone was sitting in that dark room, right in front of her. The figure appeared to be slowly turning its head, as if it was staring directly at her through the darkness. The girl felt frightened, but she gathered enough courage to get up and check the room for herself. She walked over slowly and looked inside. There was absolutely no one there. The room was completely dark and empty, as if the figure had never existed at all. It was just an empty space with nothing inside. This chills and spine, and that figure till now cannot be explained.